Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 3 Under Par podcast. This is a golf podcast where
Little White Ball's life.
I'm your host, Scotty T, and I'm joined by my co-host, KJ and T-Bone. And we also have a very special guest. So last week, we announced that we have our very first sponsor and our first partner. And so for this episode, we are joined by Chris from ClubShare, Director of Operations and Strategy. Chris, how are you doing this lovely evening?
Hey, doing great, guys. How are you?
And we're doing great. Chris, we're really excited to get you on. You know, we talked a few weeks ago. ClubShare is now the first official sponsor of 3 Under Par Pod, which is awesome, really exciting for us. We love ClubShare, so we wanted to get you on to talk about your company and what y'all are doing and how y'all looking to grow in the marketplace here. And so it sounds like a pretty neat deal. So thanks a lot for coming on, man.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott. Thanks for having me.
So, Chris, just want to start off early on, or give us the background, your background, and how ClubShare came to be.
Sure. Yeah. So a little bit about the company. Basically, the idea kind of came to me and the co-founder Morgan by us traveling for work, and really having a hard time, finding some clubs to rent and get around in when we're traveling for work. Basically, ended up calling a bunch of courses in the area, and ended up playing with some really crappy clubs and paying $50, $60 just to rent these basically lost and found clubs. So what we wanted to do is build a platform for really traveling golfers or people new to the game, and really try to bring the cost of renting clubs down, to a more reasonable price. Maybe get some new people into the game with a lower barrier to entry, and why not have people make money at the same time. So our motto is rent clubs save money and share clubs make money. So that's really what really started it. We've been working day and night over the past several months to really build a platform that we're proud of and to offer to our customers. Right now we got over 75 listings throughout the country. Our biggest markets right now are Southern California, Southern Florida, and Denver, and we're working on building out some inventory in the Phoenix, Arizona area. So we've seen some pretty great growth over the past couple months, and we're really excited to get this thing rolling and just trying to get our name out there and basically let everyone know that we're hitting the ground running and trying to grow our listings on our site.
Absolutely. Really, it sounds pretty cool because it's almost twofold. If you're looking to make a few extra bucks and you got some either your own personal six or sticks lying around in the garage, you can rent those out. And then also if you need clubs at any point, you can rent them or you can use them. So because I know we were talking about it, must have been this time last year that T-Bone was over in Hawaii.
Oh, and nice.
He was debating whether or not to bring the clubs or not. And so it sparked this really long discussion. And so, yeah, that's interesting. Kind of sounds like that's a solution to those who maybe want to get in a round or maybe even just 9 holes but don't want to pay the traveling fee to bring the clubs.
That's right. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not in Hawaii yet, but any listeners out there in Hawaii, be sure to look us up so we can help people out. But
that's right.
Yeah, I mean that's really what sparked it. You don't want to pay the baggage fees to carry the clubs, and there's a couple other options out there, but they're just extremely expensive, and really it's almost not worth it to a point to play 9 holes and end up paying $60-$70 to rent clubs. So like I said, we're really excited about what we're doing, and we're really excited about the growth that we've seen the past couple months.
So, Chris, what's your background in golf, or what sparked your passion for the game?
Background in golf is pretty short. I probably got into the game about, I'd say 5 years ago. I actually had a townhouse right along a golf course. So, I'd sneak on every couple nights and play a couple holes, and really caught the bug. My roommate in college was on the golf team, so he had tried for years to get me into the game. I'm originally a hockey player, so kind of got the Happy Gilmore story going on.
There you go.
I would say over the past 3 years, I really caught the bug, and I try to get out obviously several times a year, but when I play the most golf, like I said, is when I'm traveling. I don't have to worry about the kids or anything, so get out there while I'm traveling, and I get to see some pretty cool courses while I'm at it. So.
No, it's great. So you mentioned you're up kind of maybe northeastern, or that at least that part of the country. How's the golf scene up there? I mean, because we're based in Houston.
Right.
I always joke that I don't think I could ever live up north because we get to play golf 365 days out of the year, weather permitting. So how's the golf scene?
We got a pretty short window up here. I would say it's about 4 months, from end of March really, can maybe start getting on, but really it's April through July is really our main season. August starts to get a little bit colder. I'm from Pittsburgh. There's a couple really nice courses up here. But unfortunately, most of the nicer courses I've played have been on the road. So I've been down in Dallas a couple times. Got on some really nice courses down there. Still got to get down to Houston though, and maybe get around it with you guys.
Always welcome. I think Kyle still plays about 5 times a week, the full-time job. So that's he's shaking his head.
We got a lot of golf in this weekend. T-Bone and I played 36 yesterday. T-Bone, how are you feeling today? I know it's probably a little rough.
Yeah, I'm a little tired, to say the least.
And that's another reason why we started ClubShare was, sharing your clubs, especially for the guys that get out there only, a handful of times, 2 to 3 times a year. I think it's a great solution for people like that. Just, go out, have a round with your buddies, have a couple beers after. Like I said, that's really our niche market there.
Yeah, and I was going to say another thing I didn't even think about. I mean, I think all 3 of us have been playing golf most of our lives. And I don't know about you guys, but I have probably 2 or 3 sets just sitting in my garage.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are not being used by anyone. I wasn't even thinking about that as a possibility of, loaning those out. I just think about all the golfers in the game because, maybe they don't necessarily want to give up their clubs, but pretty much any golfer out there has at least 1 spare set. So,
and they're probably better than those standard stock Callaway Diablos that everybody
absolutely. Yeah, that's the one.
It's got to be the number 1 most rented out club ever.
Yep. Graphite, standard.
Oh man,
Diablos. Just
love hitting toe ropers with that thing in the club. Just no one sees.
Yeah, T-Bone, that's a really good point too. Kind of, just thinking about our platform. So, you mentioned golfers maybe not wanting to rent out their good set, but so ClubShare actually every rental done on the ClubShare platform is covered. So, we're really trying to make it as worry-free for both the lister and the renter. If any damage comes through and on the clubs, that's all covered by us. So.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Yeah, I was about to ask what kind are people willing to give up even their own set, or is it more of like, hey, I just maybe have last year's set? Because there's some people get the new equipment every single year. It seems like, but like what kind of clubs are you generally seeing being
so we got a couple partnerships around the country. Like I said, our in our main 3 markets, a lot of the clubs that are being listed are from club shacks. That really their main business is club rentals, and that's where we see a lot of them. Though we are starting to see a lot more personal sets being listed on the site, which is nice.
Definitely. Yeah, I was up in the attic yesterday and I found the old set. I was like, "Woof, I got to put those on ClubShare."
A lot of memories with those, huh?
A lot of memories, good and bad, I would say. It's definitely a double-edged sword. It's like whenever I think I was talking about, because Memorial Park just hosted the Houston Open. And we were talking about we all pretty much grew up playing there, and it's the public course that's in the middle of the city, and now they renovated it, and it can host the U.S. Or not the U.S. Open, the Houston Open. Actually, the U.S. Women's Open is coming to Houston in like 2 weeks.
Nice.
Really?
Are they letting in fans for that, or?
I don't know. We should look into that. Yeah, it's going to be at a course called Champions.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a little on the north side of Houston, and that's actually the club that Jackie Burke Jr. owns and runs. Jackie Burke is the oldest living Masters champion. He's like 94 years old.
There's some trivia for you.
Yeah, he's the one who beat Kim Venturi when Venturi shot 80 on the last day in like the 50s. But yeah, Jackie Burke, he's like 94 years old, but still goes out to the club every single day, and it's one of those clubs where you have to still interview with him and talk with him if you want to get in. So that's a fun fact. But all that to say is that there are good times and bad times out at Memorial Park, and whenever I see those sticks, it's like, woof, I remember some good times, but also some bad times with it. So yeah.
We had the U.S. Open up here, I want to say 2016 at Oakmont. And I'll tell you what, the city's still abuzz with Oakmont gear. I mean, you can find it anytime you go downtown. There's someone wearing an Oakmont polo. So it's kind of funny, Pittsburgh obviously isn't known as a golf town, but I think if you were up here and you spent some time in the city, you'd probably think different.
Absolutely. So, what's kind of the vision, I guess? Where do y'all want to go with ClubShare? Yeah, because you mentioned that big markets. I'm sure Texas is probably on your list as well, at a place you want to go in. So, definitely for our listenership, if you're looking to rent clubs or looking to make a few extra bucks, go sign up for ClubShare. So, but yeah, what's kind of the vision for your organization?
Yeah, really. Right now, we're really focused on building out the listings on the site, and really trying to get users and trying to grow our user base. I think we're at about 100 over 100 active members now. So we're definitely getting people to the site, getting people signed up. Now it's just a matter of, like I said, growing our inventory and getting people out on the course. Obviously with COVID, a lot of golf courses are kind of weary about renting out their clubs. So I think we're really trying to like I said, get people on the platform and get out and golf.
That's interesting. I hadn't really thought about that before. Yeah, that courses might be a little bit more hesitant to rent out their own set. So this is potentially a good opportunity then for you all to come in.
It's a little unfortunate to say, but definitely is.
Right. Because, because we're talking about that, and it makes sense. And, golf rounds are up this year. More people are being exposed and playing golf because either, at least early on in the summer and spring, people are going crazy at home. And
that's right.
Need to get outside, get some exercise, go play golf. I was joking back in May that that was the most I'd walked playing golf in such a long time, because I was like, might as well go get some exercise.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to Topgolf too. I mean, I think they're really at the spearheading the revitalization of golf and just making it a more fun environment to it's one thing to hit the driving range, but I think they deserve a lot of credit for getting more people out on the course too.
Oh, I totally agree. We had a golf writer on the show named Art Strickland. He's a friend of the show, and he was telling us that most people who've never played golf before go to Topgolf. They're like 50% more likely to go out on the golf course in the first 2 or 3 months afterwards.
Yep.
And that's great. And even with this way, going out and renting clubs, because I feel like money at least can be a bit of a turnoff for golf. Golf clubs are expensive. It's
exactly.
Do you want to drop all that coin to go get a set? And so everybody go to ClubShare. It's an affordable way to go try it out and go hang out with your buddies.
Easy, yeah, absolutely.
And well, Chris, is there anything else that we need to hit on for ClubShare? Anything else that you would like to share?
No, I don't think so. I think we pretty much covered it. Obviously, if any of the listeners out here are interested in signing up, feel free to, and please do use the the code 3UnderPar as in the referral section, and we'll get a T-shirt and hat combo out to you.
That sounds good. T-Bone is kind of our fashion hat guy too. He's the one who started off our first round of hats. So
gotcha.
Yeah, we'll work with you.
We'll have to get some hats to you guys then, and we can have T-Bone rate them on the next show.
Absolutely, I'd love to. It's also nice. It feels nice to have a promo code.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're making big strides here.
Big time. We're moving up in the world. Well, Chris, I mean, we got a few more minutes, or we got some time here. So, I mean, let's just go ahead and keep the show going if you want. We can talk.
Yeah, I'll stay on. Sounds good.
Yeah, DJ won the Masters. What'd you think about DJ and his performance at Augusta?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, I guess dominant would probably be the best word to describe it from my perspective. I mean, like I said, being pretty new to the game, relatively new at least. It's just amazing to watch him go out there and see what he does on a weekly basis.
Just makes it look so easy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's made me a lot of money too on DraftKings. so I got to thank him for that.
Absolutely. One thing that we were talking about last week, Chris, was one of our. It's been a light week in golf. Robert Streb won the RSM Open this week. Kevin Kisner. We're friends, or we're not friends. We're fans of Kevin Kisner on the pod. He's more of a foreplay guy himself, but I mean, he's just one of the ever since the This Ain't No Hobby story kind of came out, like he's one of the boys. So definitely rooting for Kiz. I think Strev has like the weird finish. It's like a really like vertical finish on there, but pretty cool stuff. So this is kind of more of a golf gossipy week. I feel like that's one of our segments we like to do on the show. Like last year was like a gift from the gods with Matt Kuchar with the golf gossip and just being a stingy bastard pretty much. But I feel like there's some good golf gossip this week. A couple of things that came out. T-Bone, I know this is your segment. I don't want to hijack it too much, but first off, Tiger Woods. He's playing with his son, Charlie, in an event, and that just took social media by storm. T-Bone, I'm going to throw it to you first. What do you think about that, man?
I'm pretty pumped. I'm honestly just as pumped to watch John Daly and Little John tee it up as well, because Little John just committed to Arkansas and has some serious game. So that'll be cool to watch them go at it. We talked about this earlier a few months ago. For Charlie, I mean, the pressure on that kid for a 8-year-old, I mean, that is a tough scene for that kid with his golf career. No matter how good he is, I mean, it's just going to be a tough act to follow. But overall, I am extremely excited to watch Tiger and Charlie tee it up in this event.
KJ, do you think Little John is still little? Because it sounds like he might be a big boy.
He was never little. There's videos of him hitting golf balls at like 4 or 5, and he probably weighed as much as I do.
Well, that's not saying a whole lot.
But I watched Tiger and his son hit some golf balls, and it looks so damn similar. His golf swing is so pure already. Like, it's just phenomenal.
Sounds like
I mean, he's walking Tiger's footsteps, but this kid is going to be a stud. He already is a stud. I'm excited to see that's coming from like 2 different types of golfers, I think. Little John and him, probably a little more structure in the Woods household than the Daly household, I would assume. So, even with Tiger's past. So it's going to be interesting to see those two, how they kind of take different avenues to the golf course and see how they play in that tournament.
Do you remember, I think it was at the U.S. Open last year, the tennis U.S. Open, when Tiger, I think, was watching Roger Federer, and they both, like, fist pump at the same time?
Pump, yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine if they both fist pump again? Like, that would – I think the internet might break. That's just
there's gonna be so many videos of his son fist pumps. Like, it's gonna be for sure. It's gonna be everywhere.
So I just thought about this. Are they both gonna wear black and red?
They have to, right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
It's going to be like that picture of them hugging at the Masters all around.
Let's say in the Masters, awesome. The entire Tiger Woods camp was wearing red and black. Gosh.
Yep. Continuing on, Tiger, I think we briefly talked about this a few episodes ago, but there's been a preview for the HBO special on Tiger.
I don't know if I think we talked offline about that.
Okay. If
Yeah,
anyone hasn't seen the trailer yet, please go watch it. It's a 2-part documentary coming out in January, and based off of the preview, it does not look like they're holding anything back. I mean, it's his childhood, it's crashed Escalades, it's
So it
Fire
the
hydrants.
kind of brings up a
escapade.
good. It kind of brings up a good question there. It's a 2-part series or 2-part deal, right? So where in his timeline would you cut that first episode?
Ooh. I don't know.
I
Chris,
think you cut it at the. Damn, that is a good question.
Because you can't just he was doing all that stuff before he got into big trouble. You can't just cut it right before
That's
the
right.
collapse of Tiger's run.
I mean, talk about a cliffhanger, though.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden they'll do like an overlay or like a sound overlay of him like crashing the car, and then next episode that would
Because then that second part's just going to be the climb back and the Masters win.
Right.
There's
Scott,
a whole lot going on before
idea.
that.
You might have a future in movie producing, Scott.
Hey, I've put together like 5 YouTube videos now, so I feel like a pro.
Yeah.
Nailing it.
It's nailing it. But gosh, I don't know. It's got to be that, because even after that, there's still so much stuff that happened. Like Tiger, he losing to Y.E. Yang, that happened after the crash. But then all this back surgeries, knee problems.
I think you cut it off at the.
I
I think you cut it off at the Torrey Pines U.S. Open. That was kind of. There was a lot that happened before the next time he teed it up. I don't know. That just seems like a good stopping point.
So you think it's going to be a rise, and then the second one's going to be a fall and another rise?
Yeah.
Or you think they'll just cut mid-scene, Elon with a 9-iron at his back window?
Undisclosed footage, never before seen.
Gosh, I tell you what, I'm really interested to see what they do on his growing up, because his father was such an influential figure in his life, for better or for worse sometimes. I mean, there's a reason why Tiger was very promiscuous in his younger years, because he got that from his dad. So that's I don't know. And Tiger's still really protective of his dad. Like I've heard that just through the grapevine of writers and whatnot. So that's why I'm curious what HBO does here, because Golf Channel has done some documentaries beforehand, and they've been good. They've been fine. Like whenever they did like the Return of the Roar, when Tiger won the Tour Championship, and it was just more of a timeline. So I'm really curious to see how much access Tiger's willing to give HBO, because I feel like he likes to control the narrative as much as he can.
Right.
I don't think he's controlling this one.
I don't know.
I mean, when you have a crashed Escalade in the preview, it's not going to be good.
They put that in the preview?
Yeah. So
Yikes.
it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
T-Bone, you mentioned that Charlie Woods has like all the pressure in the world on him, which I agree. But my question is, do you think there's more pressure on Charlie or Dustin Johnson being married to Paulina or dating, whatever they are, considering his father-in-law is the great one? That knowing you'll probably never measure up to your father-in-law, what's more pressure, do you think? Chris, you're a big hockey guy.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'd have to give it to Tiger, though. I mean, you're talking about the greatest of all time at golf versus the GOAT of hockey. So
the great one.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, I'd say there's more pressure on the Woods clan right now. Just looking forward to Tiger teeing it up.
I can't wait.
Yeah. I was just going to say, also, I mean, DJ's pretty proven at this point. He just won the Masters. Charlie's 8 years old.
He's already winning club championships by like 9 strokes, though.
Yeah.
That's true. Gosh. So there's another match that I guess is coming up. It turns out this Friday, it was announced, I think, today. I think people need to stop labeling things the match, personally. That's my 2 cents, because the original match was, who was it? Ben Hogan, Nelson, Ken Venturi, and some other guy, Harry Ward, I think. I don't know if you've read that book by the guy who wrote the greatest game ever played. I can't remember the name, but so that was the original match, and then you had the Tiger Phil match, and then they had the match 2.0. Then you throw in it works, especially with Peyton and Tom Brady. So there's another match. They're labeling it the match 3.0. We're going to have no Tiger Woods this time, but it's going to be Phil Mickelson and Steph Curry and Peyton Manning and who else?
Barkley.
Charles Barkley. How did you forget Barkley?
Did I say Barkley?
Oh man,
I kind of laid an egg on that one.
I think Phil, as much as he is like on Instagram and taking shots, him playing with Barkley mic'd up is going to be an absolute it's going to be hilarious.
I'll tell you
I can't wait to see that big old hitch in his swing. It's just cringeworthy, but you just can't stop watching.
That's what I love the most about these matches is the guys being mic'd up. I mean, like I say, coming from a guy that didn't really follow golf growing up, and having the stigma, the quiet please signs. That's been my favorite part of watching these is the guys mic'd up and just acting like normal dudes and not unreal golf players. So
you'd fit in great with my crowd.
Yeah,
there's no such thing as quiet anywhere. Just jamming music, drinking beer, having a good time.
We may or may not have gotten kicked off the course yesterday. I would neither confirm nor deny that. But anyway, that's interesting. Gosh, I mean, Charles Barkley, he's such like a TV personality anyway. I mean, obviously with his NBA show, even going back to his playing days. Okay, so he did the Hank Haney show back in the day, right? When Hank Haney was the golf fixer guy. Did that work? I don't think it did.
No, because he still had that hitch afterwards.
Oh. KJ,
So
go ahead.
I was going to say he used to be a good golfer. He used to shoot in the 80s, yeah.
Wow.
Is that
During
something
the Haney
straight
project,
from his mouth?
No, during the Haney project, because I remember watching that show, and they showed old clips of him in like the 90s, and his swing looks totally fine. No hitch, no nothing, and then just something sparked. And he had the hitch ever since. So, I mean, it is.
We talk about a mental midget.
It is.
With that, right? With being we know golf is such a mental game, but what happened to F you up that badly? It's like you go after it. And I don't know.
Probably losing millions of dollars gambling. But hey, that never happened to John Daly, so.
Or Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's true.
Or I think Michael Jordan has gambled more on the golf course than maybe anybody ever. That's what I would think. But man,
KJ, what are your tunes of choice on the course?
Oh man, you can usually tell my BAC by the type of music I'm playing. Usually starts out with some good Texas country, and then it might turn into a little old school rock, maybe a little AC/DC, a little Thunderstruck action. And then you get everything from like 2000s pop music and like Nelly radio, and then new age rap, blaring, everybody's looking type stuff. Just some outlandish stuff towards the end of every round usually.
Nice.
So I try to touch all bases.
So I rode in a golf cart with KJ yesterday for 8 hours or so. And I don't want to throw you under the bus, but I have to. I think you might be one of 5 people left in the world who are still using Pandora as their music streaming service.
I can check Pandora.
Well, one, I don't know how to log into it, and I'm paying for it so I don't have commercials, so it works just fine. But I don't know how to log into it to change anything. If I do it from my phone, I have to use my face because I don't know the actual password. So
just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah,
Chris, how about you?
Job done.
Yeah,
I go-to tunes.
I mean, pretty similar to KJ. I throw on some 80s rock, so we got that going, and then like he said, the more booze I get in me, the newer the tunes are, and the more explicit the lyrics get. So
exactly right.
It's really bad whenever he turns on like some really raunchy Texas country music too. Like there's a few of those are KJ knows what I'm talking about. Is that that's when it's like, all right, we might need a few more ouchies and then we are good to go. We are done.
We ran them out of Crown. We completely ran the entire country club out of Crown yesterday.
That's impressive.
Drop a Crown. I go in there. He's like, "Yeah, I can make you one." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "This is all we have left in the entire property." I was like, "Okay, load her up."
Good living. Good living. One more thing I wanted to end on, I guess on a completely different note. I think it's also worth mentioning that Camila Veges finished top 10 this week. It's his 6th PGA Tour start since his young daughter tragically passed away, and he saw a rainbow, and that reminded him of his daughter this week, and he played lights out. Camila Veges, he's one of those guys I think everybody roots for on the PGA Tour. So just want to give big shouts to him and to the Veges family. So wishing and praying for nothing good things for the Veges family. We got about 5 minutes left here. So, Chris, I think this might be a good time to wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys. Hopefully we can do this again sometime. I had a lot of fun here today.
Absolutely. Always welcome to come on. Do kind of, like we say, shoot the shit about golf. That's what we do. We play golf all the time anyway, so that's why we started this podcast, because we just want to throw our thoughts out on the internet, and hopefully people will listen to it. So, but we're really proud and excited to partner with ClubShare. And again, for those who are interested in either renting a set or renting out some of their clubs, where should they go? Yeah,
clubshare.com. From there, you'll be able to sign up for an account, and like I said before, use that promo code 3UnderPar, and we'll get you a hat and T-shirt.
3UnderPar, use it. I'm going to use it, so you should use it too. But no, that's great. Thanks so much, Chris, for coming on. Everybody, go check out ClubShare. I think it's a really cool thing, especially for those who are traveling on the road, or if you're just maybe want to get introduced to the game, go to Top Golf for the first time ever or something like that. You can go use ClubShare. So for all of us here at 3UnderPar, thank you, Chris, for coming on. You can follow us on our social media channels at 3UnderParPod. That is the number 3UnderParPod, Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe, rate, and review. Give us those 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, and then write us a review. Tell us what you like about the show. Reach out to Chris. Again, go check out ClubShare. Use that promo code 3UnderPar, and we'll get you hooked up here. So thanks again, Chris, for coming on. We appreciate it. I'm Scott from 3UnderPar and Chris from ClubShare. And remember,
little white ball is life.